Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, going to be talking through some NFL player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 1 slate of games for Sunday. I'm making this video on Saturday afternoon. Obviously, the Week 1 slate officially kicks off on Sunday, and man, I'm super excited for NFL this year. Super excited to be watching NFL again on Sundays, and I got 3 player props I'm going to share in this video. I think every week on these videos when I give out plays for the full slate of games, I'm going to try and give at least 3 to 4 picks. Now for the primetime games, so for like Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, probably only going to give like 2 picks in those videos just because it's harder to find plays when you're only looking at one game. But when we have a full slate of games like we do Sunday, 14, I think it's 14 total games on Sunday. There's a lot to choose from. So I got 3 picks I'm going to share in this video, guys. As always, we're going to talk through these 3 plays. We're going to share why I like them. Before we do, though, we can recap our plays from Thursday, from the Thursday Night Football game. And we gave out 2 picks Thursday. We didn't cash our 2 picks. We went 1-1, so we split the 2 plays. We did hit on Josh Allen. We took his over 24 fantasy points, and Josh Allen had a great game. I think he had like 2 or 3 passing touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown as well, finished with over 30 fantasy points. That one, wasn't much of a sweat at all. Unfortunately, though, we took the over on Allen Robinson's fantasy points, and Allen Robinson was a huge disappointment on Thursday. I think he only got 2 targets. He had 1 catch for 14 yards. That was literally his final stat line. And I know one of his 2 targets literally came on like the last play of the game. I think Matthew Stafford threw the ball like 40 times, and Allen Robinson was targeted twice. It was crazy. I mean, nobody expected that. I know Robinson let a lot of people down on Thursday. Unfortunate that I wish we obviously could have cashed that and, got off. I wish we could have started the NFL season off on the right note, but we got a full slate of games Sunday. So hopefully we can do better Sunday. A lot more options to choose from. Real quickly, guys, before we talk through our plays for today, do want to give a shout out to Prizepicks. If you guys have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, definitely get over there. Make sure to sign up with promo code NOAH. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And as you can see on the screen, Prizepicks is still running this Tom Brady free square promo. Pretty much they have Tom Brady's passing yards set at 0.5. This will be available all the way up until Sunday Night Football starts. So you have all the way up until Sunday night. This will be the last time you hear me talk about this promo. If you guys have not taken advantage of this yet, definitely get over to Prizepicks, sign up, use code NOAH, and obviously you can take any picks you want to pair with this Brady promo. If you want to pair the 3 picks I give out in this video, you can obviously do that. If you want to just take 1 or 2 of the picks I give out in this video and pair that with the Brady free square, you can do that. But you want to be taking advantage of these promos that Prizepicks is offering. I'm sure this isn't going to be the last NFL promo they run. They're going to run a ton of promos all NFL season. You guys are going to want to be playing on Prizepicks. We're going to be making a ton of Prizepicks content, probably at least 3 Prizepicks videos a week, talking through player props and all that. So yeah, get over to Prizepicks, use code NOAH, get your first deposit matched up to $100, and obviously take advantage of this free pick that Prizepicks is giving you. Obviously, it'll be gone after Sunday night. But let's talk through the plays I like for this Sunday main slate. Just real quick, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. We're going to start off in the rushing yards category. So there's a rushing yards prop that I do like for today. It's a guy that's in a pretty good matchup. He was a big disappointment last year. He kind of seems to always be a guy that lets people down, and you probably know who I'm talking about, and it's going to be Miles Sanders. We're going to be taking Miles Sanders to have more than 46.5 rushing yards going up against the Lions. So there's a few reasons I like this play. For one, the matchup is really good. Last season against the run, in terms of rushing yards allowed to opposing running backs, the Lions were 5th worst in terms of rushing yards allowed to running backs. They gave up over 1,900 yards to opposing running backs last season, which was 5th highest in the league. And the Eagles are a very run-heavy team. Last year, the Eagles actually had the 2nd most rush attempts per game. They were only behind the Titans. They were just behind the Titans. They had 550 rush attempts last year. I'm pretty sure that does include quarterback runs as well. But this Eagles team is a very run-heavy team. Now, with A.J. Brown, maybe now they have A.J. Brown, maybe they'll let Jalen Hurts throw the ball a little bit more this year. But I still think this is an Eagles team that wants to run the ball as much as they can. And it's a really good matchup against a team that really struggled to defend the run last year. Now, Miles Sanders, when he's been healthy, he's always been a fairly efficient runner. I would think he probably gets anywhere from like 13 to 15 carries this week. So if he can average like 3 to 4 yards per carry, he's very likely going to finish with at least 47 rushing yards. I think the books have his line right around 46.5, and it's pretty much even money. So it's not like we're getting like great odds on this, but with these NFL props, Prizepicks, they really tighten up their board. It's hard to find like a ton of juiced props on Prizepicks just because they are very quick to adjust. But I do like this spot a lot for Miles Sanders. I think this is one that he can be. I think this is a spot where he can be efficient on the ground. I think he can run for 47 or more yards. Again, if he gets like 13 to 15 carries, which I think is a pretty good projection for him, as long as he can average like 3 to 4 yards per carry, pretty likely to go over this prop and finish with at least 47 rushing yards. And I know right now the Eagles, they are pretty good favorites in this game, which is another plus. Anytime a team is favored, there's always a good chance that maybe they're playing with the lead. Maybe they run the ball a little bit more if they are playing with the lead. Eagles are 5-point favorites right now, even on the road. This game does have a pretty high total, 48.5. So I think the matchup's really good. I think Sanders can be efficient in this matchup. So I'm going to be taking him to have more than 46.5 rushing yards. That is going to be our first pick for today. And then our next two picks are both going to be fantasy point projections. This is another reason I like playing on Prizepicks. They do offer fantasy scores, so you can basically take over or under on a player's fantasy score if you have a lean one way or the other. And this is something that a lot of sports books don't offer. Obviously, you can't take over or under on fantasy points on sports books, but you can do so on Prizepicks. And there's one fantasy score that I like for today, and it's going to be Kyle Pitts. We're going to be taking Kyle Pitts to have more than 13 fantasy points. I just think, with the volume that Kyle Pitts is going to get this year with the Falcons, he's just going to get targeted so much that it's pretty likely that most weeks he's going to, probably finish with more than 13 fantasy points, especially because this Falcons team, I don't think they're going to be very good this year. They're going to be playing from behind in a lot of games. They're going to be forced to throw. Right now, I know the Falcons, even at home, they're 5.5-point dogs. So this is definitely a game where you probably will see the Falcons playing from behind, forced to throw. They have a new quarterback this year in Marcus Mariota. What are we going to get from him? I think it might be an upgrade from Matt Ryan, honestly. Kyle Pitts last season, he didn't have a bad year. He ran really, really bad when it came to touchdowns. So last season, Kyle Pitts had over 1,000 receiving yards. He got into the end zone once last season, which is crazy. He had over 1,000 receiving yards. He was targeted 110 times last year, and he had one touchdown. There's got to be some positive touchdown regression coming for Kyle Pitts this year. He's definitely going to get into the end zone more than one time. I think the targets are going to be there as well. You look at his competition for targets behind Kyle Pitts. They do have Drake London, but I know Drake London's on the injury report. He probably will play, but maybe he's not 100%. You got guys like Zacchaeus. There's just not much competition for targets behind Kyle Pitts. I think he's probably going to average 7 to 8 targets a game. I think last year Kyle Pitts averaged, I believe, 6.5 targets per game. I think he'll average more than 6.5 targets per game this year. He's just going to get all the volume in the world. This Falcons team is probably going to be playing from behind a lot of weeks. They're probably going to be playing from behind this week against the Saints. I know the Saints were solid against tight ends last year, but Pitts is not your average tight end. He's a guy that can move all around the field. He can line up at wide receiver. He's basically a wide receiver, even though he's a tight end. He's pretty much built like a wide receiver. He's got speed like a wide receiver. So I like him to get 13 fantasy points here, or 13 or more fantasy points. Prizepicks, their fantasy scoring, it is full PPR, so that's always beneficial. If Kyle Pitts gets 3 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown, or 4 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown, that's 13 fantasy points. I think he has a good shot to get into the end zone. I definitely think there's going to be positive touchdown regression for Kyle Pitts this year. He has to get into the end zone at least more than once. Crazy for him to have over 1,000 receiving yards last season and literally scored 1 touchdown. But yeah, I like this spot for Kyle Pitts. I think the volume's going to be there. I think Marcus Mariota is a good enough quarterback that he can get Kyle Pitts the ball. So that's going to be our second play for today. And then third and final play, it's going to be another quarterback or another fantasy score going to a quarterback. We're going to be taking Kyler Murray. I like him to have more than 22 fantasy points this week against the Chiefs. I think this is a great game environment. Chiefs and Cardinals right now. This game does have the highest total on the slate, 53.5 total. So this is a game that is expected to be very, very high scoring. It's expected, to be a lot of points scored in this game. And right now, the Chiefs in this game, they are favored by 6. So this is another spot where we could see, the Cardinals playing from behind, forced to throw. The one negative I will say is that, the Cardinals are going to be without some key weapons. DeAndre Hopkins is suspended. He won't be playing, I believe, for the first 6 weeks of the season. So DeAndre Hopkins is not playing. And we did get word that Rondale Moore is going to be out for the Cardinals as well. So Kyler Murray is not going to have all of his weapons, but he still has Hollywood Brown. Zach Ertz should play this week, so he'll have Zach Ertz. He has A.J. Green. He's got James Conner out of the backfield. Kyler Murray is one of these guys that, he's such an elite fantasy quarterback. He has so much rushing upside that even if he doesn't have all of his receiver weapons, I think in a great game environment like this, in a game that is expected to be high scoring, I like Kyler Murray's chances of finishing with at least 22 or more fantasy points. All he has to do is probably throw for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then maybe run a touchdown in. I mean, he doesn't even have to have a great passing game because he can just do so much with his legs. And I know last year he didn't run a ton, but I think a lot of that had to do with that injury that he was dealing with. His rushing attempts went way down kind of towards the end of the season, but I think with the full offseason to heal, we'll see Kyler Murray back to his old self where he was running the ball 8-10 times a game. I mean, there were some games last year where he had like 74 rushing yards. There's a game, let's see, he had 44 rushing yards. He's always got that rushing upside. He's always a threat to score rushing touchdowns. If they ever get near the goal line, they can always read options with Kyler Murray, and he can get rushing touchdowns that way. I just think the game environment's really good. I think this game has a high likelihood to shoot out. And in games like this with high totals that are expected to be shootouts, Kyler Murray usually thrives in these type of games. And the Chiefs last season, in terms of their points allowed to fantasy quarterbacks, like in terms of fantasy points allowed to opposing QBs last year, the Chiefs did allow the third most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks last season. So I think the matchup's pretty solid as well. I'm not too worried about this Chiefs defense. So that's what I'm liking for Sunday's main slate of games, guys. I got 3 picks for today that I gave out in this video. I will share some more plays on Patreon. I did want to give a quick shout out to the Patreon. I do provide more Prizepicks plays over on Patreon. If you guys want to check that out, it's linked down below in the description. $20 per month gets you access to my Prizepicks plays that I post for NFL. I'll post for NBA once NBA gets here. Haven't been doing as much MLB lately with NFL starting back up, but I do provide NFL Prizepicks plays on Patreon. I also provide DFS content as well. So if you guys play DFS, I give out DFS content on Patreon. It's $20 per month, and that gives you access to everything. Also gets you access to our Discord chat, where if you ever need to ask me any questions, if you ever just want to chat, I'm always in the Discord, can answer questions too. So check that out if you are interested. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wish you guys the best of luck on this week 1 slate of games. Hopefully week 1 goes well. We can all make some money this week. I will have another Prizepicks video posted probably sometime late Sunday night for the Monday Night Football game. We got I think it's the Seahawks and the Broncos playing on Monday night. I will have a Prizepicks video posted for that game, sharing a couple of my favorite plays for the Monday Night Football game. So definitely check that out if you are interested. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, because I will be uploading Prizepicks videos all NFL season. I'm going to be at least trying to get 3 videos up a week covering the Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and covering the full Sunday slate. But yeah, guys, good luck this week. Thanks as always for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Again, hit that subscribe button too, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Best of luck this week. Peace.